Alright everybody, so this video is about all of the different accessories that I think are your top 5 accessories you should have before you hit the trail, or before you even get your bike you might want to consider ordering at this time. Let's get started. Okay, so here are the top 5 accessories I think. I'm going to go in order actually of the things I think are some of the most important to the least important, but in actuality I think all 5 of equal importance. So starting with the mirror. This is one of the last accessories that I actually added on to my bike, and realized that every time I went riding and I hit the streets, not having a mirror was one of the things that made it a little more scary to ride. Just the way people drive in general, they're not always looking out for bicyclists, and I'm not always on the bike trail. Most of the time I am, but when I'm not, I'd like to be able to see what's behind me. So adding a mirror onto the bike was one of the things I should have done a long time ago or had ordered. This is the one that I think I'm going to be the most happy with. Consider getting a mirror right away, because you need to be able to see what's coming up behind you. It actually adds a huge element of safety for you there. The next thing I think was the second most important thing I wanted to add on was my cell phone holder. And this is just a sample of a iPhone 6 Plus, an old phone that I had, to show how big a phone can go. Now, if you have a phone that's about the same size as a 6 Plus, some of the Galaxies are this big, it will fit in here. This here was a more economical holder, and I want to try some of the lesser expensive holders first to see how much I liked it, and then work my way up. As long as I felt it was secure and safe, it would have been fantastic. So this was one that I got for a very good price. I'll have the link and the price showing up here, but this itself is perfect. This grip that it has maximizes at this size of a cell phone, plus a case on it, and it grips really, really hard. On top of that, it came with these extra rubber band type, I call them like insurance bands, because it helps to make sure that if this fails, or there's an extra support holding the phone and keeping it from falling off. If you've seen some of the other videos that I've done on the trail, or when I was doing the suspension post video, my phone was on here the whole time. When I first got the bike, I did not put this on right away, and I found myself putting my phone in my pocket, and I was more worried about it falling out than anything else. So I decided, let's go ahead and put this on right away, and I did. Now, besides this phone, you can also put on other types of phones. Like here's another phone that has a full OtterBox case on it. It even has a ring, so you can adjust the position of where you're going to put it, and it actually, again, will hold. Again, definitely use the rubber bands to hold them in on top of that, and you will have a very securely held phone. It shouldn't move anywhere or go anywhere that's going to fall off. But this, again, a cell phone holder is one of the most, I think, a necessity when you're riding your e-bike that's out there. So consider getting one of these. They're not very expensive. You can easily drop your phone if you have it in your back pocket or in your front pocket when riding around. And, you know, it's also great to have the ability to have your GPS running if you want it there. So this is the second top accessory I would recommend. Or the next accessory that I actually would recommend on top of that is, if coming on this side, you'll see we have an extension bar, or what they call it an actual handlebar extension. What really it is it's a double handlebar piece that goes on here. It attaches right to the outside of the neck where the handlebar is holding, with these brackets here. And what it does, gives you a whole secondary space full of bar space where you can add more accessories. This here is for my action camera, for my riding, but I wouldn't say this is a necessity. Of course, an option, but for instance, it does have this accessory holder here as well. I can put flashlights on it for extra headlights and other type of tools that I might want to have added on here. But this bar itself is kind of a, I would say, almost an essential at this point, especially if you're an Lectric XP owner, because of the size of the width of this handlebar being so small. Even some wider ones though, they'll find that you have some issues with all the accessories you might want to be adding on. So looking at this here, this is how that accessory bar comes. It's basically, this is a duplicate of it, except this is aluminum, this is the carbon fiber, but it's exactly the same. They weigh really almost next to nothing. They're super light. I'll show a screenshot of the weight that I have putting everything on here. The only issue I'm going to say with the Lectric XP is that these mounting brackets here at these points are not small enough where they need the extra clamping on them. So what you can see here is that there is a spacer ring that comes added in to help bring in the diameter so that it can come and attach to the skinny part of the Lectric XP. So let's take a look at here, the Lectric XP's handlebar section. If you see how the spacer is starting to come out, because when I screwed it in, because of the angle and the way that the bar comes skinnier, it's starting to pop out there. So it's not even all the way in. And what I ended up doing is I actually ended up getting a bicycle tube that I could then add on to underneath here, so you can see a little bit of the rubber of the bicycle tube. An old bicycle tube, I just cut it, try to add some extra space to keep it from sliding too much. And even on this side here, you can see it. The bicycle tube's kind of sticking out there, but it's to add a little more grip because this is just plastic. And that's the one thing, is I wanted to make sure that this bar does not go up and down too much. When I add my camera and if I add my flashlight, the weight of it may start to move. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you get a packaging, or if you are looking at Amazon and you're getting one of these, there are a lot of resellers of the same item. These just don't necessarily work all that great. I'm looking for a solution, like even maybe drilling a small little hole so I can put a screw in that'll keep it from sliding or moving. For now, it works fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I just like things to fit nicely. And the way that it's not fitting perfectly, that's a little flaw that's in this, but nonetheless, I still think this is a very essential element, especially for Lectric XP. The bar is just too skinny for a lot of extras. So this one here is actually 20.2 centimeters across. Is one of the longest I could find. Anything longer, I was afraid it would hit certain areas, but nonetheless, it was a great size. If you're looking for one, it's doable. And I've heard other YouTubers talk about that they have the same issue, kind of have to force it on there. The angle of the arms, that attachment, try to push out, so you're gonna have to kind of force it in there. It is gonna be tight, but maybe that's even better, so it holds it in. So that's the third element that I say is gonna be one of the most important. And I'm gonna say the next one is gonna be a close third, and maybe 3.5, but it is the fourth element here, is a water bottle holder. If you're going for longer rides, this is something that I found to be really essential. Now, you can get a regular water bottle holder. I even have brackets to put water bosses, so you can put a regular rack on it. But I think a bag like this for the Lectric XP, and maybe for some even others, works out really, really good. And the reason being is, this allows for flexibility of not just water bottles. So this is a big water bottle that I like holding. And some of the other water bottle cage holders sometimes have a hard time holding this. Now, some people might say they don't like how it flaps around. You can tighten the straps in different areas to make sure that it doesn't. So, but the reason I have it loose is because I want to show an example. If I actually go to maybe the grocery store and I'm making a run and I get thirsty, then I can also add other types of drinks that are smaller that may not fit. Try to fit this in a regular bike water cage, it won't, but this will. You can have this in there. Of course, you're gonna have to drink it, but at least you can have one like this where it has a closing top, but something like this can also be done. And what's cool is, the other thing about this bag here that I like, and this particular brand, I'll have a link in the description below, but it also has a liner in it for insulation to keep your drinks cool. So if you do get a drink that you're gonna drink later, like maybe a 12-ounce can, this is our refrigerated, sticking it in here, closing it up. When you get to your destination, you'll have a drink that's still pretty much cool. You know, so that's one thing that's pretty awesome about that as well in this here. Also has a little side pocket here if you want, like I said, and it is flexible or stretchy. So if you do stick in some keys, it should hold pretty well in there as well. But here's something that's pretty cool. It will also fit drinks if you make a run to like Starbucks or your favorite boba place or somewhere to get another drink, and you can also adjust it. But on top of that, there are times that when I'm just making a quick run to maybe the post office or just to the grocery store where I know I'm not going to need a drink, and having this here, I can easily throw in my garage door opener or my keys and have a place for when I'm coming home that I don't have to search in my pockets. It's right here, and it's an extra added place that I can put it. It also has a place to close or keep it a little tight, so nothing's really gonna fall out of here. I'm not going off-roading when I'm going to the grocery store or to the post office, but this is something you can just throw something in also to hold it. It's a great accessory tool. I think the last accessory for your bike that you should have that doesn't necessarily go on your bike but on you itself is of course a helmet. Did a whole review on a helmet of this particular one that you can see on my other videos, but it doesn't really need to be this particular helmet. Some type of head protection is, to me, really important. You're going to be able to enjoy a lot more rides if you don't have any type of accident where your head gets hurt. So the fifth and the most, I think, one of the more important items, but of course it is not mandatory to have on your bike, but to have on your person, is the helmet itself. Like I said, a whole video was done on it earlier. Get a helmet, be safe, and you're gonna be able to enjoy a lot more rides that way as well. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please put your questions and comments down below. If you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button below. It really helps out the channel. And I want to thank each and every single one of you for your support on this channel itself. I appreciate all of you. And I just want to give a quick congratulations to the 2 winners of the Bamboo Boxer t-shirt giveaway that we did 2 videos ago. For those of you who've been notified as one of the winners, please go ahead and send me an email to the email address listed above. Send me where to send your shirt and also your shirt size, and I'll be sending a shirt out to you. Congratulations again, and thank you for commenting and for your participation in this channel. Again, all of you have a great time and a great ride, and I'll see you in the next video.